Welcome to Author Skill Set Wednesday with a great quote from Octavia Butler, who said, "You don't start out writing good stuff. You start out writing crap and thinking it's good stuff." Can you relate? I know I can. And then gradually you get better at it. That's why I say one of the most valuable traits is persistence. Wholeheartedly agree. With persistence, anything is possible. May take some time. Odds are it will take some time. But as long as you and I both persist every single day and flat out refuse to give up, success is inevitable. And I'm all about success being inevitable, as you'll probably hear some more about this afternoon, because it's a very important topic for me. Hi there, my name is Christopher D'Armani. It is my pleasure, it is my passion to empower nonfiction authors all across the world. Authors just like you, so you can turn your dream of writing a book into your published reality. So you can turn your dream of helping other people into your reality. It's why you want to write your book, isn't it? So you can be credible, so you can write something that will impact lives positively all over the world. It's why we write. And so if that describes you, welcome, and I'm thrilled to have you here, and I'm thrilled to share this particular message of persistence with you today. The realization for me, because I want to go back probably 25 years, the realization that it was okay for me to write a crappy first draft, that was a mind-blowing revelation. Truly was. It was probably the most freeing discovery of my entire writing life, because I thought I had to be perfect. I thought every single sentence that came out had to be perfect. And of course it never did, which caused a whole lot of stress, a whole lot of anxiety, a whole lot of aggravation in my life. My first draft would never be perfect. At some level I did understand that, but of course I refused to believe it because whatever internal nonsense I have going on in my head said, well, you have to be perfect or you should just quit. I call that guy my infernal editor. He's just an asshole, so excuse my language. He's just a jerk that has nothing good to say ever. He's always about tearing me down. He's never about building me up. Now, that infernal editor has a place in my life. It's just not when it's writing first drafts. Just like it's not in your writing life when it's writing your first draft. Take that jerk, take him downstairs into the basement, chain him to a chair, gag him if you need to, and then get back to the work at hand. Metaphorically, mentally, that's what I do when I sit down to write. I just chain that guy in the basement where he can't hurt me. I gag him so he can't scream at me, and then I carry on. But I used to allow that lack of perfection and that internal voice in my head beat the crap out of me. It was a club that I used to pick up and then beat myself over the head with because I'm not perfect. Well, of course not. No human being is. And once I realized that, oh my goodness, I can put something on the page and it sucks and that's okay. Wow, such a freeing realization. Such a freeing realization. Because it opened the floodgates so that all my words could pour out of my head and onto the page where they belonged. Where they belonged. It allowed me to write, this realization allowed me to write with wild abandon and be happy about the garbage that was showing up on the page. This simple mind shift changed everything for me. So I didn't have to care how the words came out because I knew I could fix them later. You know, and that's maybe where the infernal editor has a point, is like telling me, well, this one's maybe not the right word. Try something different. Because by the point I actually let him out after he's been chained to the basement for, and gagged for a couple of months, he's actually a little more gracious, a little more kind. So that actually works for me. That the words came out, that was the important thing. What came out really didn't matter. As I just said, it can all be fixed later. The beauty of this realization in my life is that I'm able to write more words faster, easier, and better than I ever could before. I don't approach writing with, oh my goodness, I don't know what to write, or I dread approaching this topic, or like whatever the nonsense is. None of that. My job is to get the words out of my head and on the page. That's it. The rest gets fixed later. It truly does. So I write more easily. I write more happily. I write more gratefully. I also write more courageously. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Because when I can approach my writing sessions courageously without being afraid of what words come out, all the right words come out. It's this wild, self-fulfilling prophecy. So the angst that used to plague me as a young writer, that you suck, you can't do this, why is this all such terrible, terrible stuff on the page? None of that matters. So that angst is gone and it's replaced with something that's more joyful, more gratitude filled, more whimsical, if you will. And just makes writing so much more fun. Really does. What I write each day is way less important than that I write each day. Important distinction. This persistence, this daily writing practice, that's the thing that's going to turn your dream of writing a book into your reality as well. And it will also deliver a really amazing miracle into your life that you probably don't even think about at this point. Just like my first drafts suck less, your first drafts will suck less over time as well. My first drafts these days, and I've been practicing this wild abandon routine for quite a long time, and you can't practice writing for a long time and not get better. You have to work really hard to suck. If you're writing for 25 years, it's just not possible any longer. And so I don't care where you're at in your writing journey. Approach writing with courage, with wild abandon, but build that habit of writing every single day. It's the most important habit you can build. It truly is. Because with that habit of persistence, implemented into your life, amazing things are going to happen. They have to happen because you don't give up, right? You don't give up. So one of the things that still surprises me, probably to this very day, is that I didn't really, once the switch flipped for me that I could write something crappy and it was okay, I never really expected to write a good first draft. I expected it was always be crappy and I would always have to do a whole lot of work to fix it up later. But that's the beauty of this writing quickly, writing as fast as you possibly can so the infernal editor can't jump in and screw things up. When you write really fast and when you write every day, when you build this habit of daily writing in your life, the faster you can write, the faster you can get those words out of your head onto the page. I don't care whether that's typing, whether that's dictating it, whatever method works best for you to get them out as fast as you possibly can, use it. Because the faster the words come out, the more they're going to sound like how you speak. And the more you sound like how you speak, the less editing you have to do because the sentences already make sense. You follow that logic? I hope so. So take the time, commit. Right now, open up your calendar, find a time slot that works for you for the next 6 days, next 7 days. I work 6 days a week. I take Sundays off. That's devoted to God, so I do that. Writing is 6 days a week. That's my job. And so every day of those 6 days, I schedule an appointment on my calendar, and then every day at that appointed hour, I show up and I do what I'm supposed to do. I write. And I write whether I feel like it or not. And again, that's persistence showing up, right? How I feel in the moment is completely irrelevant. It doesn't matter. My job is to sit down and write, whether I feel like it or not. And so I do. And one of the beautiful, I'll call it side benefit, of sitting down and writing even when I don't feel like it, is that within 30 seconds, 60 seconds probably at most, whatever nonsense I've been telling myself that, well, I don't feel like writing today because I'm having a bad day or something terrible happened or whatever the excuse is, just get over it because it doesn't matter. It is just an excuse no matter what it is, no matter how serious it is. It's just an excuse. When I was helping my wife through breast cancer, through all the chemo treatments and stuff, there was plenty of days where I didn't feel like writing. And often it had to wait till the very end of my day because I had to wait until my wife had finally fallen asleep at night before I could take my attention away from her and put it onto writing. And I didn't feel like writing most days. I really didn't. And yet, I forced myself to do it. And what I discovered through that process of forcing myself to do it when all I wanted to do was go to sleep or go cry in a corner, because she's recovered from that, of course, and I'm grateful for that. But in the moment, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. And so there's lots of angst going on. And yet, by forcing myself to sit down and write every single day, it almost became a self-therapy session because I could get whatever was going on in here out of the page in front of me. Once it's on the page in front of me, I can deal with anything. Anything. So can you. So no matter what's going on in your life, make the time to do this. Even if it's the very last thing at night because your day is just so filled with other priorities. It'll pay off massively in your life, in all kinds of areas you can't even imagine. So I hope that my exhortation to apply persistence to your life to build that daily writing habit is helpful. And if it is, I would love for you to like and share this video with your family, your friends, your writing friends. And if something that I discussed struck you deeply, share it in the comments. I'd love to know what that was. And I would also love to connect with you on social media. Connect with me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, all the rest of them. You can find links to all my social media content, accounts on all the platforms at authorcoach.click/Christopher. And there's a couple of other things there that might also interest you. I hope they do. So with that, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Bye for now.